Oh my goodness, welcome back. I have a warning for you. These vlogs don't normally start with a warning, but the footage you're about to watch is cursed. This locals wasn't real. We were all playing in an alternate dimension where the rules don't exist, the brain cells don't brain cell, and this is not the video for anybody to timestamp comment about the absolute cursed plays you are about to see. We know. We've roasted ourselves for it. We have asked for penitence from, Raw. And hopefully we will get it. But in the meantime, I am about to show you perhaps most cursed locals footage you will ever see. May the gods have mercy on your soul. Again, every week. Same deck. I'm running it back. Still at you can't see the sign. We're still at Duke City Game Santa Fe, and I am playing Elfnotes again. I now have my own Elfnote deck, and I brought a side deck, and I will try siding, and we'll see. The goal is a positive record. The goal is always a positive record, but we'll see what happens. Game 1, I am playing Lance. This was a 3-round local. He won the dice roll. He elects to go first. He looks at his hand and he goes, I don't want to go first. And I go, well, that's the nature of the dice roll. And he's like, okay. So he passes the turn to me. I'm on Elfnotes. I'm trying to learn Elfnotes for a regional. I'm insert all the reasons I'm learning Elfnotes. Adorable, cute. I have my starlights. I'm happy. I Regina send Regina. He chains Shifter. He chains Fua. He chains Fua. I've been double Fua'd more times in the last 2 months than I think anyone. I would like to, if you would like to join my Fua support group, we can get t-shirts and be like, hurt by Fua. We'll come up with a slogan. That stupid little cute card is the reason I got into Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I saw it in a case at a regional and I was like, who is that? And now he comes back to haunt me. Anyway, this is me going, well, I don't want to summon from, I'm debating if I do her on summon effect, Regina's on summon effect to summon from deck because he'll get 2 draws. Now, we're under Shifter. You and I know that. The 2 people in this video, they forgot that because Reina said a lot of weird stuff after getting double Fua'd because I had an emotional reaction. And I'm weird. So we have forgotten we're under Shifter. We didn't forget we're under double Fua because that's really what made me rage a little bit. So I do the Regina effect. Lance's going to get 2 draws. Looking back on this, 1, he should have shifted on his turn so he didn't have to play under Shifter. He shifted on my turn, so he will now also have to play under Shifter. No bueno. 2, I should have just passed. I should have attacked and passed. He had nothing in hand. It was very obvious he had nothing in hand. 3, Fortuna set the trap. You need to control a synchro. Now, here's where it gets extra illegal. We don't know we're under Shifter. I mean, we know we're under Shifter, but not really, because then I send Regina and I send Baby Burb as to the graveyard, and I activate their effects. But Reina, they don't go to graveyard. They go to banishment. Tell her that. She doesn't know. Lance didn't know. It wasn't until the end of my turn that anyone was like, aren't you under Shifter? And I was like, oh, yeah. Anyway, so I cheat. Now, I had Baby Burb in hand. So realistically, I could have just normaled the Baby Burb, gone into June Pride to summon, right? Because I still would have had that 1 Regina in grave. I would have had, I think I have a Lucina in hand. I could have gotten 1 from deck. If Lucina not in the middle, I could have Lucina searched like a Tinia, and 4 girls is game. Now, if time travel existed, I would go back and tell her to not even go to this locals, because here I'm doing math and I go, I don't have enough because I didn't realize. So at this point, I'm going to leave June Pride up. Here's where my boyfriend goes, aren't you under Shifter? And I was like, ha 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 ha. Yeah. Luckily I didn't do Welcome Home. That's why he was like, you didn't do the Welcome Home effect, did you? And I was like, no. And then it was later that I was like, maybe I did something worse. But I could have still made June Pride off of what I had in hand. Plus, my dumb self, let's be kind to ourselves, my still learning self is going to get rid of that June Pride before I activate Rhapsodia. Actually, I'm looking at this, and that doesn't even matter. Here's it. Look, I'm reading it. In real time, past me and current me are being like, wait a goddamn second. Rhapsodia has to summon from grave. There's no grave. There could have been a grave, because I think that first Regina should have been in grave, but this locals isn't real. Remember, I warned you. I warned you. This is fake. So Lance drew into some Doomsday stuff. And here's where I learned the power of Welcome Home. Because Welcome Home says the monster in your center column cannot be destroyed by card effect. So if you equip any, I think it's a Drastria is the Doomsday equip spell that then makes the monster like implode itself. If he equips it to anything in the middle zone, then he can't do that. And the fun, cute little thing too is if he equips it to the Fortuna, well, I respond by putting Fortuna to the center, and now she also can't be blown up. So at this point, he, I believe, goes battle. I do remember he can only attack with the middle. Wait, did he go battle? He could have only attacked, I think you can only attack with the middle. You also can only attack the middle. Oh my gosh. And I've watched this. Like, I watched this in preparation because I genuinely watched this, and I was like, do I put this on the internet? Do I put, like, this is my, like, has anyone else, like, read or seen The Ring? Like, this is, like, my version of, like, the cursed footage that, like, it's gonna, like, there's so much curse in this. I think he should have only been able to attack into the June Pride, but here we are anyway. So, it becomes my turn, and at this point, I'm like, I don't know what to do, and Lance goes, can you just put your monsters in attack? And I was like, wait. You're cooking. I can just put my monsters into attack. Because, like, also the whole thing is he needed to have the equip spell go off in order to summon. I don't play Doomsday. I will say, here's another little funny story while we're watching this. So this Doomsday deck is property of mainly my boyfriend. There might be some of my cards in there too, but we built Doomsday because we were in a deck building time where we were like, we want to have Archmage, and we want to have Doomsday, and we want to have all of the Medius decks. And so that's how we have like 6 Mediuses, like in the space. Anywho, well, when I made Elfnote, we took apart Archmage so I could use those Mediuses. And we kept Doomsday together because often Lance will borrow the Doomsday deck. He has since ordered the cards. He's planning on playing Doomsday. He's waiting on the cards. Well, I played a couple games of Elfnote, and it is my nature to make very strong claims off of little evidence. And I was like, this deck bricks. Sucks. This deck is just bricks. And my boyfriend was like, what do you mean? And I was like, I feel like it's bricking. And he goes, well, there's a lot of lists that I've seen that play 2 Welcome Home. You can also play 2 Vidolium. And I was like, sign me up. So we didn't have an extra Vidolium because he also built Elfnotes. Now he's only playing 1. And I was like, I have 1. I need 1 more. We had the Vidolium in Doomsday. So we took it out of Doomsday and put it in Elfnote. We forgot we did that. Lance asks to borrow the deck for locals. We see that there's an empty sleeve. We go, what could that possibly be? We give him a called by. It comes up later because he's looking for Vidolium. He's like, I need Vidolium. And I'm like, so you know what we end up doing is at the very last round, because Lance ended up getting 2nd place, top 2 finish. Well, that last round, because this locals was already fake as it was, I go, do you just want the Vidolium? So I gave him the Vidolium. That I told you this was not a real locals. So I win game 1 because, again, he was like, can you just put your monsters in attack? Because we were having the whole song and dance of, like, equip spell. And then none of my stuff could get blown up because I kept, like, shimmy, shimmy, yay, shimmy, yay, shimmy, ya. Like, moving. My girls were dancing. And then I guess it didn't work for him to blow his own stuff up. So, well, and also it's, like, once per turn. So I'm going to go first. I get Fuad. And then my Junaldo gets ashed, but that means my Lucina does not get ashed. I think I don't know if anyone remembers when I said Murakuma was my sleep paralysis demon. I think it might be Fua now. So I search Lucina. I'm going to send the Lucina to special summon her to the middle so I can summon from deck. He will get 1 draw. Here we have Baby Burb. And I'm like, you know what? We're going to run it back. I'm a Baby Burb. June Pride. He gets another draw. And he goes, at least Welcome Home isn't there. Now, at this point, it does appropriately trigger the Baby Burb to search and Regina to add back. I searched Tinia. I already had Welcome Home in hand. So at this point, I Welcome Home. I send the Tinia. I would like to get the Trap. He's going to get a 3rd draw. I'm still, okay, so I do Fortuna. I'm going to get the Trap out. As long as I keep June Pride out, the Trap will actually be a negate. That was the other You need something in graveyard and you need a synchro. So my thing with learning decks is it takes me a minute to even learn the deck, let alone then learn how to play under Droll, how to play under Fue. It's always interesting when people are like, the combo that you said or would die to, and I go, I know I would die to Droll. I know it would die to Fue. I know one Ash Blossom and this hand sucks. I'm still learning just what the deck does. I haven't thought through it. Layers, onion layers, okay? So at this point, I'm going to do the old flippy floppy, and Fortuna cannot get blown up. And while he can equip it as many times as he wants, because I add it to hand, I was like, let me read the card. Give me the card. He can equip it again. That's not once per turn. But the effect to blow up is once per turn. So you equip, and then I must have moved to the center when he activated blow up. So I'm going to blow up, and I said, now I'm going to chain Fortuna. Shimmy, shimmy, yay, shimmy, yay, shimmy, ya. As my really aggressive hand motion is saying, it can't be blown up. I do say that stuff can still die to battle. It just can't die to card effect. During main phase, I chain June Pride. I summon from hand. I summon from deck. I summon from grave. I hand rip. And then I could make June Pride again. I don't think I do. He's going to scale, I don't know what that one is. One of the power patrons. I'm going to do a little spin. I'm going to read, and I will, this is me going, wait, it's not going to negate because I don't have a synchro in grave. I could have baby birded, targeted, and then gone into June Pride again, which would have made the Rhapsody alive, which is what I should have done. This is why we film and watch. Not necessarily this was just a cursed footage, but what I should have done is, because the June Pride, you can make it again. You just can't do the quick effect to put it to bottom again. So I should have baby bird, targeted, immediately synchroed, and then I would have had something to make the trap live. You live and you learn. Dupredo ends up getting destroyed, so he's going to go to, oh, that's the other thing too that we learned under Shifter is that when scale pendulum monsters get destroyed under Shifter, they don't hit grave to then go to the top of the extra deck. They just get banished. So that was part of the issue with Lance trying to also play under Shifter, because he shifted on my turn, then Shifter lasted through his turn versus shiftering on turn 1. Turn 2, I play under Shifter. Turn 3, he's free. He shifted on turn 2. So we I guess, I did learn something. Can't say I didn't learn anything. So at this point, he is just trying to get out the large monsters to start chipping away at the board. Alphonse is mad. Alphonse. Okay, this is another thing when I watch this that I think we didn't catch. And tell me if I'm wrong, but I seem to have some memory of Omega. I was playing Fairy Tale, and I was playing against Doomsday, and they had that field spell. I think it is that field spell that says that I think it's your opponent's monsters lose attack and defense, or just attack. I could look it up. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to ask you. You guys be my Google. I think your opponent's monster either loses attack and defense, or just one of them for every banished card. Now, Lance is playing like a Pokemon player. He's got deck, graveyard, banishment in that order, As when all of us who started playing games before we really got into Yu-Gi-Oh! I used to play Magic, and I also would do that. We didn't have a banishment, but whatever. So he has a banish pile. It's underneath his graveyard. So I think that should have made a difference. Not sure how much of a difference, but it definitely should have made a difference. He is going to normal summon Midioso, and Midioso is going to allow him to search. I'm just going to rock back and forth, waiting for this combo to end to see what I can do. I think I have Crown set, and I end up. Why did I make June Pride? I just didn't even think to do it. I crown my own baby bird because I'm like, baby bird is crucial. It's my synchro material. Girl, you should have just synchroed with it, and then you could have even searched. No one will be more disappointed in me than me, trust me. So we talk about how, oh no, we don't talk about how Lucina can't get popped because Lucina she's not unaffected by Welcome Home. She just can't be destroyed by card effects. So Lucina gets taken, stolen by the evil. Is that Drastrus? This feels like an actual lore game. Isn't like the Doom Z? Aren't they fighting the Elfnote ladies? It's a war for our souls. So I'm going to special Tinia to place, because what's better than 1 Welcome Home 2? I'd play 5 if they'd let me. And then I go into, I believe, Strelitzia. Do I remember to search? I do. Power Patron to search, and my baby burb is going to get called by. Now, I am still able to utilize baby burb in the sense of I can summon the other one. So I end up off of Strelitzia, targeting the Regina to summon. I think that's legal. I should probably read Strelitzia. That is a Euro Strelitzia, though. And I got a new playmat. There were some good things this locals. I'm going to go ahead and summon the other baby burb in order to... I mean, I don't even know how I can necessarily out this board, but I'm trying. I should... Watching these back, I'm like, okay, that's all. But there is a learning experience. I do like filming these even on locals that feel exceptionally cursed, because you still get to learn something. So at this point, it just seems like all my stuff gets blown up. I am going to activate Terminus. I will search Medius, send Vidolium, one of the 2 Vidoliums in my deck. Medius, I will fail to find, which is illegal in Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't have another Dark Fairy. I believe I have both Vidoliums in grave at this point, and I can't search another Medius. So I Welcome Home, send the Medius. Lucina, I think Lucina, I searched another Regina. Did I Welcome Home twice this turn? I pass. I Regina. He destroys and pops. I made Crystal Wing. I didn't even notice that. Baby proof deck. That's what I'm saying. Crystal Wing can do some goodness. So I negate, destroy. I guess it can't be destroyed though. I don't have another Tinia. I could have returned Medius to hand, but that would have been bad. So I don't do that. So I don't want to spoil this for you, but we go to time. That is another thing of the cursed footage. I double lost twice. So this, we can try to go to game 3 all we want, but I think at this point we have 10 minutes and it will end in a double loss. Now, let me know your thoughts of double losses. I've let mine be known. I've said it in other things that I personally feel like in locals like this, it's not that big of a deal. Now, my boyfriend and I have kind of already started having the conversation about, now that we have winner packs, does that make locals more inherently like, don't double loss, it's going to be bad? It does end up, so like I know a double loss counts as a loss, but in terms of tiebreakers, it does make it worse for both people involved. I'm fine with double losses because it's the rules. I'm a little rule follower, you see. And so I am more than fine with double losses. I'm very grateful that the people that play here, whether they have not verbalized to me that my double loss mindset is like poo-poo. I don't like rolling for it. I also don't, my brain doesn't work well in like hypotheticals, like the conversations of like, well, I would have won. And then me being like, well, I would have won. Because like, you don't know what you're going to draw. And then when people are going to have interaction. And so like my autistic brain just doesn't do well with the like, maybe you would have won, maybe I would have won. I would just rather follow the rules that our Lord and Savior Konami has put in front of us and just double loss. So I go ahead, I set my board up. I'm going to get June Pride out. This is going to make it so June Pride can't be destroyed and you can only attack with middle monsters. Lance, I think honestly during his turn is when the timer ends up going off and we just report it in as a double loss. So this is, again, if he equips it to any of my stuff. Regina can't move to center, Fortuna can. So I end up dropletting. I'll move to center. So now anyone can attack and I can't do the dance anymore because Regina doesn't move to center to do anything. And June Pride doesn't move to center to do anything. And also her effect to go to bottom is only if she's in center. So now she's kind of just a beef stick, but she's a big beef stick. 3,100. 3,100 beef. Are we under shifter again? And see, at that point, the time got called. Match 1, double loss. Match 2 is going against Leo, who is playing Blitzkrieg, and don't worry, atrocities were to also be had in this game. I told you the whole locals was cursed. Yeah, whole locals. So I believe, Leo wins the dice roll and opts to go first, ends up setting one and then passing. Did set a Fallen the Virtuous, so my Tinia is going to get Fallen, so that way I cannot do the effect. I will also get Fuad upon my summoning of, I believe I summon Regina. How did I do that though? I'm not gonna lie, the glare, if that was Regina, I needed to send something from hand, which is what's making me think that is not Regina. But then how did I get the baby bird? Oh, I chained. Did I? I think I did. No, that's what happened. Sorry. We're fine. So I specialed Tinia, to which he did Fallen. And then I chained Regina. And then Regina was going, and then to the Regina, he chained Fua. I believe that is how it happened. So yeah, with Terminus, I'm gonna go ahead and I believe I got another baby bird, and I make Strelitzia. That will then chain baby bird. I'm not sure how I got into defense though, because he can't normal summon in defense. Anywho, then I search for Tuna. For Tuna, I will place the trap. At that point, he is going to Phydralis Harmonia. I gotta figure out the lighting. With wherever I was sitting, the lighting is just the glare be glaring. He's gonna go ahead and pop Strelitzia. He'll send Malong. I'm gonna go ahead and set the trap, and I have no triggers, so Malong, he's gonna go ahead and return the trap to hand. I don't remember if I set the trap. I'm gonna be totally real with you. Okay, I do. Good girl. That was good. Good brains. I set the trap, and at this point, you can see in hand. So I have Fortuna and I have Baby Bird out. I think I just pass on this. He is going to normal a. So I've never played against the Dogmatica cards. I have now realized I should probably be reading what they do. I effect Veiler that one. Later on in the game, I end up popping things, but I don't pop the Dogmatica card that gives a bunch of or like returning stuff to hand. I don't get rid of the one that's giving permanent attack boost, which I think is the one that's currently on field because I didn't read it. I don't know. That's what I did. So that was definitely something. So I'm going to go ahead and Regina, send the Baby Bird for cost. And then that, because I missed the Junaldo trigger earlier when I did it. So Junaldo will let me draw 2, and then Baby Bird will do nothing because it wasn't Science Synchro material. But Regina will also trigger to let me special. I discarded Terminus, and Junaldo will let me add either the Terminus or Baby Bird back. Or an Elfnote monster. So I add back Strelitzia. I do think it says Elfnote. That might have been a lie because it might have only been a power patron. No, I think it was Elfnote. So from here, end phase. Okay, so I must have done the Regina play on his turn after Effect Veiler. Normal Medioso. Medius to search. He's going to chain Alternator. Adds Crackle. I think he shuffled in a Whisker is what he ended up doing. So Medius, I don't think I have another Baby Bird, so all I can do is add Vidolium. I make Chaos Angel. Okay, so Chaos Angel cannot be destroyed by monster effects. Now, I did not think of this to say, you're going to watch breakaways, fallens. We have a lot of turn cycles. Because Leo was under the assumption that Chaos Angel just can't be destroyed. He ends up saying after, he's like, I need to remember Chaos Angel is not as oppressive as I think it is. I didn't even think to clarify it because, like, I'm in my own head, right? I'm in my own brain being like, what do I do? What do I do? And, like, he's making choices and I'm trying to, like, figure out what I'm doing. And it wasn't until, like, he reads Chaos Angel a few times. It's not until he reads it, maybe not that many times. Maybe it was, like, the second time he reads it that he's like, wait a second. This is so my monsters can't be destroyed by battle. And Chaos Angel can't be destroyed by activated monster effects. You can fall in Chaos Angel, and that would have sped this one up. But alas, cursed footage, cursed locals. So I'm reading what it's doing, trying to figure out if this is something that I want to negate. I end up just chaining Baby Bird onto Lucina, so that way I can immediately synchro. He's going to chain Crackle. Crackle will destroy the Baby Bird. I'm realizing I always need to wait to chain Baby Bird to Crackle. Because then Crackle will resolve without effect instead of doing it before. And I knew he searched Crackle, so that was my own thing. So at this point, we're going to start chipping away at damage. But I did not, it's the one now. The one he has out now is giving itself boosts as well, which means even if I negate it. So see, there's the Fallen, and was that the Fallen Virtuous? Yeah, so the trap ends up getting destroyed. Reads Chaos Angel. Yes, that's the Fallen and the Virtuous. And Fallen Virtuous, the trap, reads Chaos Angel. Is gonna Alternator again. Get a Grain. I believe he's gonna Grain, pop his own Alternator. Alternator he can banish to go ahead and search a Hideout. Going to activate Hideout. I literally have no interaction. I'm just sitting on the Chaos Angel. Hideout is going to give a token. We forget this. We remember it later. And then it will let him search. I believe that was Surge. Or it might have been, yeah. Whisker. So Whisker is going to, he will just special the Whisker, pop the Lucina. I will then chain Harmonia. Oh no, he does Grain because I didn't chain to the Whisker. He didn't control the Whisker. So I chained to the Grain to search. I should have popped the middle monster instead of the Whisker. This is what I'm realizing. Because that's the thing that ends up getting super, super beefy. Gets super beefy. And then Malong, I returned the Green to hand. Again, this is him explaining the attack boost. Definitely should have, that's the one I shouldn't have left out. I made a bad choice on what I decided to leave out. Normal summon, Thunder King, draw. I have an Effect Veiler. I have a Terminus. But I know if I activate Terminus, I can't attack with Chaos Angel. Okay, reads Chaos Angel again. I go ahead and I attack into the Thunder King Raiho. Chip away at damage. Pass the turn. So this was it. This first game was kind of long, and it really was just a culmination of decisions of like the not fallening or breakawaying okay, so here's where I'm like, oh wait, I need the token from last time, and then he's gonna hide out again, so I get another token. Not getting rid of the Chaos Angel sooner, but then also me not getting rid of that thing. Oh, also realizing that when you summon off of, any of the effects, like to reveal themselves and summon, they could go in defense. So also I was able to chip away at more damage than I would have had they been summoned in defense. So Surge, Grain, I'm sitting on 2 tokens and a Chaos Angel. Breakaway, pops the token. So now I'm sitting on 1 token and a Chaos Angel. I will say, because I played against Chaos Angel, and I'm not sure how. Oh, and then I remember, wait, they can't actually be destroyed by battle. Because I do take damage because he punches over the Chaos Angel, but the token I get to keep. And I ask how big the token is. So, okay, this is me going, if I crown it, will it lose its attack stats? And we asked my boyfriend, and any monster that also gives other monsters stats, when it is negated, does not lose those stats. But if it's only giving itself stats. So if we think of Heart's Cryptor doubles its attack, it would lose its attack if it was crowned, I believe, but because this monster is giving itself and others, it wouldn't lose its stats. So I put everything to attack, chip away, set the crown. What I was going to say is I have played against Chaos Angel before, and in decks that don't have like Fallen in them, I'm literally having the thought of sitting here being like, oh, what would I do? Like with Elfnote, what would I do into a Chaos Angel? He's going to be a Chaos Angel again. And at this point is like, wait a second. And I was like, yeah. Oh, wait. Oh, yep. Problem solved. I'm not sure. Elfnote v Elfnote. What I would do against a Chaos Angel, because it doesn't really have. I mean, are those effects negatable? Like, can I, oh, and then you just Whisker gets a bunch out, and then I die. Well, the middle one was crowned. Not to spoil things again, but we double lost in this second. That first game took a really long time, so, and this whole locals wasn't real. So, yeah, I'm not sure what I would do against Chaos Angel. Can you negate it with like Rhapsodia is my question. Like if I Rhapsodia and then negate the Chaos Angel, then can stuff be destroyed? So he's going to go ahead and chain Fua to my Terminus. I have the Called By. I have been wanting that Called By for so long. Leo pulled it naturally. Like he just like aura farmed it from the universe. And every time I see the Called By in his deck, I'm like, that is such a freaking cute Called By. I was always so hesitant to buy it because my girl math brain is always like, oh, but if I get 3 cards that are 50 each, that's less than the 1 card that's like 80. I bought it. I was happy with it. I go ahead and I Cyframe Omega because why not? That looks to be Tinia's long legs in the glare. Place Welcome Home. We're going to go ahead and Regina. We're going to get Fortuna. Why didn't I get Baby Burb? Place the Trap. Oh, Welcome Home Rhapsodia will go ahead and get back Baby Burb. And then I will make Strelitzia. Regina to add back. Strelitzia will bring back Baby Burb. And then I think I just sit on Chaos Angel. Now, at this point, we are starting to run out of time. So I put Chaos Angel in the middle so that way Welcome Home. It can't get popped. I do think that's like kind of a strategy I've been thinking against Blitzclick is with specifically Elfnote. Ending on 1 monster and then Welcome Home. Now, granted, if there's Grain, you can attempt to Rhapsodia negate it, but that does require summoning a monster. So sometimes I almost wonder if it's Crystal Wing, if you could do a monster negate with Crystal Wing first and then send the Crystal Wing off of the Rhapsodia and bring back like Strelitzia in the middle. So that way Strelitzia can't be popped by Welcome Home. But yeah, Grain makes it hard for the Welcome Home. The Welcome Home really just protects against stuff like Surge. So I do end up, I think the Nadir Servant. How did it not go? Oh, I ash it. I see her feet in the graveyard. I ash the Nadir Servant, and then we are going to Breakaway, place the Continuous Ball, Alternator. He's going to activate Fallen and the Virtuous, I believe, on his own Alternator because he needs to get the Search. So Alternator, when you banish it, will get you the Hidden City, the hideout in Kaloum. So he is going to Alternator, banish, search, token, search. I haven't Crystal Winged yet, so I'm wondering, at least I don't think. No, there hasn't been any monster for me to do it to. Instead what I do is I crown the token so it can't be popped. So I have nothing that can be popped unless he has green. And even then I could crystal wing it. And I think at that point, I'm trying to look at the time on this. I think we do go to game 3 off of that one. But again, I double lost. So it looks like we're heading into a game 3, folks. So we're going to go ahead and go into game 3. That first game took quite a long time. I think this last game we literally had, again, like 10 minutes. And we were siding, trying to do it as fast as possible. Okay, so game 3, Leo opts to go first, going to Pot of Prosperity. Banish 6 for cost. I think I skipped a little bit ahead in the footage because there's already a Nadir Servant and there is a Perulia in Grave. And I am guessing I probably also had the Ash. Summon. Dogmatica, Fallen in the Virtuous, gets added. Set 1, and then I believe he passes, and I draw Gamma, which I was like so excited because I was like, wait, could I do the thing? So I'm trying to do, because I've never played those hand traps, so I decided to side him in just for funsies. So I'm like, let me try to do some spell trap stuff to get him to do anything first. He doesn't fall for it. So I have Vidolium, I get Junaldo. I'm going to special Tinia's Long Legs and then draw 2, discard 1. I end up discarding the, I believe, Delta is maybe what that one is. I've never played them. Don't come for me. Big thinking. I'm worried he has Crackle, which is why I'm not sure if I want a Tinia to place. So that's where the thinking comes from, because but that's why I'm like, okay, I guess I could Tinia, cause him to use the Crackle, and then crown my own Tinia is what I was thinking. But I'm like, I think I was definitely playing scared. Totally forgot that Fallen in the Virtuous was there. So I do end up triggering the effect. He's actually going to Fallen. I'm going to allow that to happen because I'm thinking I can set crown and then try to do the trap or like the hand trap on his turn. So I do end up passing. He's going to set another Fallen. I could have, I believe, normal summoned Medius and attempted to do more, but I just got so excited about this new hand trap that I've literally never used that I was like, I want to do it. Did I get to do it? No. The timer. So I crown immediately, so can't use the effect. He got some draws off of the Perulia as well, and then the timer goes off, and it is a double loss. And I say I'm so sad I didn't get to do this funny little hand trap that I've heard is so great, but time ran out. And so match 2, another double loss, and we go into match 3. Match 3, my opponent is playing Black Wings, which we love to see, a variation in decks. Now my opponent is, I don't want to say completely new to Yu-Gi-Oh, but relatively new to playing Yu-Gi-Oh. And so once I saw the matchup, this is, honestly, because I don't really know what Black Wings does. So if you're listening to my voice right now, instead of just watching, I'm going to use this time to give a little TED talk. When I first started playing Yu-Gi-Oh, I remember hearing from people being like, I remember playing against more veteran players. And they would just like treat me as if I was the absolute threat, right? Like full combo, like no mercy. And I remember talking about it, and there was this idea of like, well, yeah, like, well, it's like respect. This lens of like, well, it's respect. And then I'd heard stories of these people doing this to children. Like literally children would be playing at a locals, and these same people who were through the weird lens of like, well, they respect you. That's why they're going to like, you know, full on go wombo combo, like play the absolute, like to the best of their ever ability because they respect you. Now, keep in mind that this whole idea of respecting me meant that I really didn't get to play the game because I didn't know what was going on. And so most of the time it was just them full comboing off without really explaining what was happening. And then I was like, do I lose? And it was like, yes, you lose. And then I found out that this was happening to like literal children. And I was like, Is it respect or is it ego that when you are playing against somebody that you know hasn't been playing as long as you, that you know is still learning, you feel the need to, just my personal opinion on it. If you are playing, because again, and I've talked about this, where Yu-Gi-Oh can have a lot of feelings around it, and I feel like no one plays a game to intentionally lose. If you're new to Yu-Gi-Oh, if you're new to anything, I think you have to realize, like, you're going to lose. When you learn snowboarding, you're going to fall. You're learning how to bake. Your first few batches of cookies are going to probably not taste the best. Like, there's a learning curve. So it's not even about playing in a way that means that, like, I'm going to let my opponent win. It's more of, do you have to just, like, fully stop them from being able to practice their deck? So when I sat down for this game, knowing this was a newer player, I was like, I want them to be able to play the game. I want them to feel like they sat down and played a game of Yu-Gi-Oh! And that I didn't, like, immediately start, like, sweating next to them. And I was like, what does that do? So they make their board. I do ask what I'm looking at, and I decide to Forbidden Crown the one that was going to burn me for every effect I did, because I was like, well, that sounds crazy. And honestly, my play is to make Crystal Wing and Don Dragsta. I do get drolled, but I do get to basically place a bunch of stuff. So that is how I feel like Elfnote plays pretty well under droll, unless they open even media special summon. So it's honestly not that bad. So again, my plan is to do Crystal Wing and the Don Dragster. Now, going into synchro decks or any deck that has a bunch of, like, because what's Crystal Wing saying, like level 5 or higher, level 6 or higher, Crystal Wing was just going to become huge. Like, I could just, and he had his monsters in attack, so I'm just going to be chipping away at life points with Crystal Wing. I explain if he is attacking into, or if he battles a monster that is very high in rank or whatever, he's going to gain their attack. And so if Crystal Wing attacks into a level, I think 5 or higher, again, correct me if I'm wrong, might be 6 or higher, and Crystal Wing will then gain that monster's attack, like, before damage calc. So basically it's you're gonna take damage, especially if stuff's in attack. I pass the turn. I do have some hand traps, but again, I think there is something to be said for where I even felt too, learning decks, and sometimes my frustration with the game will come from if you are not allowed to, like, play. This was a really fun game because even my opponent was like, I got to, like, use synchros that, like, I've never, like, used before. Like, you get to, like, I end up using a synchro I've never used before. Like, this was one of those games where it's like, you know what? This isn't like immediately one of us needs to win. Like, just gonna, like, try stuff out, like, just play. This isn't a real locals anyway. The 2 matches before this, I think everything happens legally in this match. I mean, obviously, you probably saw that my opponent has some cards that are some not in the language is not the foreign language cards. Foreign language cards is the word. But again, like, all of us were like, yeah, you're new to the game, you're learning, you're trying to make this deck, and we're gonna help you make it work. And if these are the cards you have, like, there's, like, we're not gonna be like, you can't play it or locals because your cards are not the way we are. Very grateful to not be at a very sweaty place. So talking about Crystal Wing again, and yeah, this was just kind of a fun game at this point in the locals. It has been so much weirdness. I explained if you tag in a Crystal Wing, it's going to gain the attack. And then I didn't know this about these synchro monsters, that they gain, like, the counters. And there was a play that we talked about after that he felt he could have done, using counters to, I think, negate something, because he has the trap. And I talk about how you have to remove a counter for it, because he tries using it later and it's like, oh, you can't actually use that if you don't have the counter. But there was, like, a play that could have happened with the counter in order to, I think, negate the Crystal Wing. So in draw, I'm like, you know what? Let's just go battle. I'm just going to go battle. And he's going to remove the counter. And then he decides to do imperm instead, because I think whatever that trap specifically was trying to do wasn't going to work. Or no, I think I Dawn Dragster the trap and then he imperms. No, that's wrong. Something happens with the trap. Let me know in the comments. I don't know what that trap does. I've never played Black Wings. Tries to do something with the trap. Maybe he did have the counter. Maybe I said you have to have a counter, but he had already taken it off. But I feel like he would have corrected me and been like, no, I had the counter. And then I Dawn Dragster to negate the imperm. And so this was like, I don't know. This is definitely a good game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Because there was like back and forth where we got to, not necessarily me at this point in time in the game. I didn't necessarily try a bunch of stuff. I kind of just sat on Crystal Wing and Dawn Dragster. But it was something that I did not want my opponent to feel completely like they didn't get to play the game. Which I guess leave your thoughts. When I first started playing, there was that idea of like, oh, everyone. But then when I found out that the people who were saying this were also people who, when they sat across from like literal children, were like, no. And I think it comes less from showing respect to your opponent and more ego. More having to show your opponent how good at the game you are, how much better you are, how like awesome you know what I mean? Because like to me, it just feels like, what's the purpose of, is it because you're worried you're going to lose if you don't like go all out? And then like, so what if you do? There's been people that I've played who I know have gone a little butthurt over not like 2-0ing me because I'm a new player. And it's always so funny because it's like, what does it matter? Like this idea that if you've been playing for longer, if you're playing like the best deck, or if you've like traveled, or if you've like gotten your invite, that like somehow you're like a caliber above like us plebeians who are just scrounging around. Like, anywho, I make Levi. I've never made Levi. I don't know his full name. He may be fabled. I call him Levi. I sent Levi out to pasture in order to take one of these monsters and just go for game. Yeah, I'm playing Levi instead of Crocodilo. I don't know how I feel about it because I never made it, but it was super fun this game to do it. I was like, that's kind of fun. And then, yeah, I think at that point, here's where we're reading like, okay, if it had a counter, but there was no counter, this was the one that had the counter. That was the one that had the counter. Yeah, and we go to game 2. So I won game 1. I actually think I'm allowed to go first on game 2 as well, and my plan remains the same. I will be making Crystal Wing, and I will be making Dawn Dragster. And this is why whenever I call Elfnote baby-proof, I don't mean it as an insult. For I myself am the baby that must be proved, and all of us sometimes when we're learning a new deck, it really helps to have some Omni negates and spell negates just inherently built in that are not crazy to try to make. So going into game 2, I am going first. I'm going to scale Junaldo, special Tinia, trigger Junaldo to draw 2 discard. I'm going to discard the Perulia because that's not going to do me any good. I did not side either in this last match. Tinia plays Welcome Home. Welcome Home. I am going to summon Regina. Regina do Baby Burb. Baby Burb and Regina are going to go make Strelitzia. Baby Burb is going to search. Regina is going to add back to hand. Strelitzia is going to resummon Baby Burb. Strelitzia and Baby Burb are going to make Crystal Wing. Fortuna is going to get us the trap. This part of the combo, I got down. Then you're going to Rhapsody of Madness. Hopefully send something other than the Fortuna. In order to get the Baby Bird back, you make the Dawn. You make the Dawn Dragster. And this is like the one combo I feel really good on. But that's what I'm saying. The ceiling level is pretty high. Oh, I make, never mind. I don't make the Dawn. I make June Pride. The ceiling's pretty high for what you can do with Elfnotes. But I also think for newer players, like Crystal Wing and the Dawn. It's pretty good. He has a bad hand. He was like, I'm going to normal summon face down and set one and then pass. And I was like, oh, okay. June Pride got impermed. I'm like, well, I'll just attack and pass. And it looks like he drew a Fua. Ooh, yeah. I'm going to draw. I'm going to June Pride. I'm going to get out all the girls and we're just going to go for game. So this, if you made it through the end of this cursed footage, you have 7 days to attend your next locals and pass on the curse. You too must do egregious things at your locals. And if you don't, you will never win a game again. I warned you before you watched this that this would befall you if you watched all of this footage. 7 days. Go to your locals. Commit atrocities. Report back, or you too shall face the fate of a never-ending losing streak. 3 rounds finished. Is 2 double losses better than 2 regular losses? I feel like I did better this week. Round 1 was a double loss. Round 2 was a double loss. I definitely am still very much in my head about like the right thing to do, which makes it, I already know I'm going to watch it back and be like, wait a second. I think I did some weird stuff. I apologize. I apologize in advance. I apologize in post. Won round 3. The person playing Black Wings is like newer to Yu-Gi-Oh, so I did not try to like hot take. If you are feeling the need to completely like do your full combo and obliterate new people, you should check yourself, because like why? But yeah, I mean, I feel like more interactive. I didn't get completely shut out, so I guess we're getting better at Elfnotes. Maybe.
Hold on.
How many cards in hand? 3?
3. Money spread.
I will pass.
Drop the turn.
Yes.
There we go.